All right, let's dive into something pretty special today. We're talking about a feature in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central that, and I'm not kidding here, has been decades in the making. If you're in manufacturing, you're going to want to stick around for this one.
But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. A user who's been in the trenches for years put it perfectly. I have wanted this feature for 25 years now, finally. Think about that. That's the kind of anticipation we're dealing with here. This isn't just another software update. For a lot of people, it's a dream come true. So what was this huge problem that took 25 years to solve?
Let's just set the stage for a minute. For as long as people have been using this system, manufacturing users have been wrestling with this really rigid, really unforgiving process when it comes to production orders.
Picture it. You've just wrapped up a big production run. You change the status to finished, you breathe a sigh of relief, and then you see it. A mistake. Maybe a simple typo, wrong quantity, anything. Before now, that finished status was basically a steel door slamming shut. There was no going back.
Oh man, the old way was a nightmare. Fixing that finished order meant digging into all these complex journal entries and making manual adjustments. It was slow, it was complicated, and honestly, you were just asking for more mistakes. The new way is just one little word, reopen. That one word changes everything.
So after all that waiting, the solution finally came. And you know, like all the best solutions, its real beauty is just how simple it is.
And yes, that yeehaw is a direct quote from the community, which I think just perfectly captures that collective sigh of relief. The reopen button isn't buried 3 menus deep. Nope. It's right there on the ribbon, front and center, ready to save your bacon.
So what's it actually doing under the hood? Well, the key thing to understand is that it takes your finished order and flips its status back to released. This is so important. It doesn't create some new, confusing copy of the order. It uses the exact same production order number. It's like a time machine that lets you go back and make things right.
All right, so you get the what and the why. Now let's get into the how, because believe it or not, it's even easier than you think.
I mean, seriously, that's it. It's 2 steps. You find the order you messed up, you click reopen, and bam! The status is flipped back to released. It's just so incredibly simple.
But wait, reopening the order is just part one of the puzzle, right? I mean, that gets you back in the room, but you still need the tools to actually fix what's wrong. And that brings us to the other half of this amazing update.
Say hello to the reverse production entry function. This thing is the perfect partner to the reopen button. Instead of manually trying to create correcting journal entries, you can now just find the bad entry, select it, and tell the system to reverse it with one click.
The power here is incredible. You can pick one single wrong line, or, hey, a whole bunch of them, and reverse them all in one go. The system automatically creates these perfect offsetting entries for you. And this works for everything: your materials, your labor, your machine time. Once you've zapped the bad entries and posted the right ones, you just change the status back to finished. And that's it. You're done.
Now, of course, with any powerful new tool, there are a few rules you gotta know. This isn't the Wild West. There are some important guardrails here to keep things in check. And listen, there is one rule that is more important than all the others. If you take away nothing else from this section, remember this next part.
This is a one-shot deal, folks. You get one chance per production order. You can reopen it, make your fixes, and finish it again. But if you try to reopen that same order a second time, you're going to get an error. So measure twice, cut once, or in this case, check twice, reopen once.
So just to recap the big limitations. Number 1, it's a one-time only action. And number 2, you can't reopen an order if it doesn't have any output posted against it. But that second point actually leads us to another really clever fix this whole update introduced.
You see, this update isn't just about fixing mistakes. It's really about giving people more flexibility and cleaning up some of these processes that have just been, well, clunky for years. Oh man, anyone who's worked in manufacturing knows these. Those production orders that got created, maybe some parts were even consumed, but then the whole thing got canceled. You couldn't delete them because they had transactions, but you couldn't finish them because there was no output. They just sat there like ghosts in the machine.
And the old workaround was just silly. You'd have to post some kind of fake, zero-cost output just to trick the system into letting you change the status to finished. The new solution is so much more elegant. Now there's a new setting that lets you finish an order with zero output, and the system just automatically writes off any of that work-in-progress cost. It's clean, it's simple, and it solves a really old annoyance.
So what's the big picture here? Well, this whole update is just a huge quality of life improvement. It saves a ton of time, it gets rid of these risky,
error-prone workarounds, and it makes fixing simple human errors a simple process. It's all about giving users more control and more flexibility to do their jobs.
And really, that's what it all comes down to. It's amazing to think that one simple button could solve a problem that people have been complaining about for a quarter of a century. It kind of makes you wonder, what other seemingly impossible fixes are just around the corner? What's the one feature you've been waiting for all this time? Thanks for joining me.